My name is Judy Zhang, and I'm the Director of Product at XtremeLabs. And I have a couple of my colleagues here also on the call. Sana Rema is also on our team, as well as Jomia, and they'll be helping to run some things behind the scenes. And I want to give a big thank you to them for helping out with this webinar. So before I introduce our MCT panelists, let me just give a couple of updates here for our MCT community. So first of all, there are a couple of ways that we work with MCTs. The first way is providing virtual labs to live classrooms. So we are the original Microsoft authorized lab hoster, and we originally worked with Microsoft to create a lab platform and put in various features so that we could support all of our instructors' needs while they're teaching students in a live classroom. And we also allow for pre-classroom setup and access so that MCTs can access the environments before they start teaching and make sure that they have what they need for their students. And we also have an extensive lab catalog with all of the official Microsoft titles. And in addition to Microsoft labs, we also offer a wide variety of other technologies like AWS, CompTIA, VMware, and other technologies like that. And in addition to supporting classroom teaching, we also provide access to lab prep. So this is in partnership with Microsoft, and it's a benefit that's free to MCTs as part of the Readiness program. So you can get free lab prep with all of our official Microsoft labs, and these are the same labs that you'd be using in the classroom teaching. I also wanted to give a legacy courseware update. I know that's a topic that we've gotten a lot of questions about in the last several months. So as you probably all already know, Microsoft retired a large catalog of legacy courseware titles on December 30th. Through the end of this month, March 31st, we're still officially offering all of the legacy courseware titles for MCTs and their lab prep purposes. And we're committed to maintaining the legacy labs for as long as there is need. However, post March 31st, they will no longer be officially part of Readiness, and that's just part of the agreement that we have with Microsoft. And it may also pop up into your screen. Just want to get a survey of the audience and ask if you're still planning to teach legacy courseware after March 31st, and if so, which titles you'll be teaching. And that'll just give us a better idea of which ones we should really prioritize and continue to support for MCTs. So this is a program from Microsoft that gives MCTs to various tools and discounts and support. And as you can see, you can access some information in MCT Central, where you can find out more about Readiness. And from our side, we're including free access to a hosted lab environment, as I mentioned earlier, and this includes the same stage virtual machines, lab steps, and tools found in the classroom version of the labs. And we have new labs every time Microsoft releases one of their new titles. And you can go to labs.xtremelabs.io/MCT/access to register as an MCT so that you can get automatic access to all of the Readiness labs. And if you have any questions or if I'm going too fast, just feel free to reach out to put your name into the chat or reach out to info@xtremelabs.io. We can definitely help you get set up. So all of this information is going to be added to our website after this webinar, so I'll just go through this really quickly. Basically, we just need your email address and your MCT ID in order to verify that you are an active MCT, and then we'll be able to get you access to the Readiness labs. All right, and then here's just a screenshot showing what you'll be able to see after you get access. Okay, so just one more thing before we get started with our panelists. there's a couple ways that we definitely want to engage with the MCT community. The first way is if anybody wants to join our beta testing program, we definitely want your thoughts on how to improve our platform. I know that MCTs are the most passionate group of individuals that we work with about how they can improve the experience for their students. So if you want early access to labs, if you want premium support and the opportunity to expedite lab features and fixes that you think are really important to classroom teaching, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll add you to this program. And the second way that we're starting for this year is some MCT meetups. And I want to thank Tiago Costa for originally talking to us about this idea. We're going to be launching very soon a new page on XtremeLabs.io. So this will be a gathering place just for MCTs, where we're going to list events that are relevant for MCTs, and also offer some additional resources and support. And most excitingly, we're going to start hosting some regular MCT meetups. Currently, we're discussing once a month, and we're going to be working with a different MCT to lead or co-lead each meetup each month. So if you are at all interested in helping to organize or lead or co-lead one of these MCT meetups, also definitely don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we'll start getting that started. All right. So now let's move on to our MCT Community Insights panel. So thank you so much to all four of our panelists for being here with us today. I'll go ahead and pass this off to my colleague, Sana, who will introduce each of the panelists.
Thank you, Judy. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much once again for joining us today for our webinar. I would like to introduce our panelists who are here to share their MCT insights and their amazing experiences with all of you. First of all, I would like to introduce Mr. Tiago Costa, who is our first panelist. Tiago Costa is a cloud architect, advisor, and international speaker for the Microsoft Cloud. For the past years, he has been architecting and developing solutions using Microsoft Azure for some of the Fortune 500 companies. Tiago regularly teaches Microsoft Azure classes around the world. Tiago has 50 plus Microsoft certifications, including MCT, Microsoft Certified Trainer, and got awarded as MCT Regional Lead since 2016. He is the founder of the Azure Portugal User Group. We are very glad to have Mr. Tiago as one of our panelists for the webinar. Thank you so much, Tiago, for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be here today.
Now I would like to introduce our second speaker, Ms. Gulnaz Mushtaq. Ms. Gulnaz Mushtaq has been an MCT since 2018 and has trained hundreds of students all over the world, and is now serving the MCT community in Pakistan as a regional lead. Gulnaz has a vast experience in training, project management, supervisory and leadership, information technology and management, computer networking, system administration, database administration, website development, software quality assurance, IT procurement, and IT policy manual development. She has worked with both the public and development sectors. She encourages her fellows MCTs to pass along their commitment to education and passion for problem solving to Microsoft's professional community around them. Apart from teaching, she has written lessons on Microsoft Azure, Microsoft Server, TMG proxy, and Exchange DAG deployment. Thank you so much, Gulnaz, for joining us as a panelist for our webinar. We are very glad to have you today.
Thank you very much, Sana, and it's a great pleasure for me being here to help my MCT community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gulnaz. So moving forward, I would like to introduce our third panelist, Mr. Abdullah Altaf. Mr. Abdullah Altaf is an MCT regional lead for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and is working as a senior technical consultant. He is a technology evangelist and has more than 35 certifications. He is the Microsoft specialist and certified professional with over 10 years of IT industry experience. He has a vast experience in Azure Stack consultation and development. He has result oriented and problem solving skills with a proven ability to quickly grasp modern technologies. Thank you so much, Abdullah, for joining us as a panelist for this webinar. We look forward to have a great session with you.
Thank you so much for inviting me in this session. Thanks.
Thank you, Abdullah. Now I would like to introduce our next panelist, Mr. Usman Lodhi. Mr. Usman Lodhi is an MCT trainer, regional lead, Pakistan for the years 2022 to 2023. He has done more than 20 certifications along with Cisco Certified Intra-Network Expert, CCIE. He started his career in 2012 with MCITP 2008 certification. He has provided guidance to more than 200 candidates to become MCT in different areas. He has organized MCT Virtual Summits Pakistan 2020-2021. During the pandemic of COVID-19, he has started MCT Summits virtually. Thank you so much, Usman Lodhi, for joining us as our webinar's panelist. We are glad to have you here today.
Thank you, Sana. It's a pleasure.
All right, well, thank you for those intros, Sana. And once again, we welcome all four of our panelists. It is such a pleasure to have you and to here today, and also to look forward to your insight and wisdom. So just to start off with, the first thing that I'd like to ask all four of you is what inspired you to become an MCT? What were your reasons for becoming one? Maybe Tiago, you could start off and we'll just rotate through all four of you.
To be totally honest, I kind of always enjoyed training, and I was already doing some training. And I was literally not aware that this program existed until basically another trainer talked about it. Hey, why don't you become an MCT? I was like, well, what's that? And he just tell me, oh, you have this program, and you have certifications from Microsoft, etc. And then that's when it clicked me, and I just went home. I analyzed this. And I was like, yeah, this might be interesting. And I kind of started, to put a plan in place, in motion, to become an MCT. And it took a while. It took like a year, something like that, because I didn't have any certifications. I first took the certifications, then I took the course to become an MCT. Then I had to prove that I could teach all of that. And it took me like around 1 year, and I become an MCT, and this is one of the reasons why I find this kind of events and my community efforts so important, because there's still so many people that they don't know the program, they don't know how it exists, they don't know how it works, and we need to work as a community to onboard these very good professionals that are out there. They're still not in the program. And if we bring those good professionals, we can build a stronger community and valorize, the credential of the Microsoft certified trainer. So that was kind of how I engaged with the community first, and how I become an MCT.
Thanks so much, Tiago. Gulnaz, do you mind answering this next? Can you share why you decided to become an MCT?
Yeah, sure. That was back in 2014 when I was working on a project of USAID. I was assigned a task to design some online trainings for the IT professionals of civil society organizations. That was a great experience for me, being an online instructor. Then in 2017, Corporate Systems Islamabad, which is an IT training institute, they offered me an opportunity to become a trainer and to train people in Microsoft technologies. So I have also conducted much training, corporate training for different clients. But as I wasn't an MCT and I was just an ordinary trainer, so I faced difficulties while preparing and designing the training material, as all the MCTs get exclusive benefits, including the access to the complete library of official Microsoft training and certification, and discounts on exams, books, and Microsoft products. They also get Microsoft Readiness resources to help enhance their training experience. So, as compared to an ordinary trainer, I felt that it is like more difficult for me to get all those resources, and one cannot spend a lot of money on those resources. So in 2018, I had become an MCT, and if you have a passion to help others, other technology people, I would suggest you to consider becoming a Microsoft certified trainer, as I can honestly say that it has been a single best decision I have ever took in my career.
Thanks so much, Gulnaz. That's very inspiring.
Thank you.
Abdullah, how about you? Why did you decide to become an MCT?
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, I never imagined myself as an instructor, but my technology learning passion and deployment, different product, and giving initial trainings to the customers as a Microsoft Gold or certified partners. So it motivate me, and during my educational careers, my teachers also encouraged me to become instructor. And after delivering, working with Imagine Academy, training institutes, and delivering trainings to Microsoft partners to onboard their partners to become in a cloud journey. So after this long training sessions and interaction with different guys, I improve my skills and the things. And then it encouraged me to become a professional instructor. So it will help me myself as an instructor, and also for the participant to give him up to date and latest content and these things.
Thanks so much, Abdullah. And finally, how about you, Usman?
Well, thank you so much. I'm a basically technology lover, and I love to learn new technologies. And when I was learning MCITP, when I was in class, and my teacher told me that, Usman, you have a wonderful teaching skills. So they encouraged me, and they was my seniors, my teachers was my inspiration to become an MCT. They helped me a lot. For 2 years, I have started in 2012, and then they was my inspiration. My teachers, my seniors was my inspiration to become an MCT.
Great, thanks so much. Well, this next question is for all of our new MCTs or potential MCTs here in the audience. I know it sounds like most of you have all indicated that sometimes it can be really difficult to enter this community, especially if you don't know how to get started. So for a new or potential MCT, what are your recommendations for getting started? Can you talk about some new or retiring Microsoft certifications? Basically, if you were to start off as an MCT, what certification would you pursue first? Are there any kind of tips that you would give to someone who's starting off for the first time? Maybe let's start with Usman.
Well, being an MCT, it's mean that we are ambassadors of Microsoft technologies. We are the persons who are the front face of the Microsoft technologies. We are teaching and we are producing new talent. My recommendation is that if somebody is want to become an MCT, they enhance their teaching skills first, and then the role-based certifications are changing very fast. So they should get update with their certifications. They should get update their knowledge, and then they become an MCT.
Gulnaz, how about you? Do you have any tips for how to start as an MCT?
Okay. Well, when I first became an MCT, so I was very much passionate, and I uh, started more. Uh, Sorry, I started writing more material and helping other my co-MCTs. So I really advise them to pass along their commitment to education and passion for the problem solving to Microsoft professional community around them. And MCTs can play a great role in using education technology and performing a remarkable role to break the cycle of poverty. And I always highly encourage the Microsoft trainers to become Microsoft certified trainers instead of being an ordinary trainer, so that they can reap the benefits of the MCT program for getting a better experience in the training. So as far as the examinations are concerned, which are going to retire, soon Microsoft announced a few certifications on their website. Those are going to be retired in the March 31st. The first of all, it is AZ303, which is Microsoft Azure Architect Technologies. And secondly, it is AZ304, that is Microsoft Azure Architect Design. And the third one is DA100, Analyzing Data with Microsoft Power BI. These three examinations are going to retire on 31st of March. So I would request my co-MCTs and my students that they should plan accordingly, because these certifications are going to retire uh, on 31st of March. And apart from that, Microsoft has announced a few beta exams. The first one is AZ720, that is troubleshooting Microsoft Azure connectivity, and this is going to be available on 31st of March. And second one is exam is DP500. This is designing and implementing enterprise scale analytics solutions using Microsoft Azure and Microsoft Power BI. So this exam is going to be available in mid of April. And the third beta exam, which is going to be available in the April, that is exam PL500, Microsoft Power Automate RPA Developer. And the fourth one is a very comprehensive and very much important and crucial one, that is SC100, which is Microsoft Cyber Security Architect. So it is going to be available in April 2022. And this exam, the last one, SC100, that has a few prerequisites. You have to appear and pass first. So there are four prerequisites, that is SC200, SC300, AZ500, and MS500. So if you pass one of these four examination, then you can appear for SC100. So the people who are more interested in the cybersecurity and security field, they can go for the SC100 examination. So that's
Thank you.
all from my side.
Thank you. That's really helpful, especially for those who are interested on the cyber side. So my next question is, what would you consider to be important qualities for an MCT? And, how do you choose the right certification path for you? Tiago, would you mind starting?
Oh, it'll be a pleasure. So I will say in terms of the path that you want, there's a huge discussion on the community around that, and there are people that defend that you should be specialized, others that you should be a generalist. I'm on the specialized side. Okay, so we are here to, we have students that are really, some of them that are really, really experts on their areas, and they are there, to get the best from the best. And you don't get the best of the best if you're a general person. You just generalize in a lot of subjects. So I used to be there in the beginning of my career because, to be totally honest, when you're a freelancer, Now you have to pay the bills, let's be honest. And, sometimes you don't get needs on the area that you like, that you want to specialize, and you start to feel a little bit, oh yeah, maybe I'll just, go and teach something that I'm not a special. I can just learn during the weekend or something. You can't. Okay, you can't. Let's be honest. You can be pretty smart, but there's always someone in the classroom that they only do that for a living. They will be way better than you on that specific topic, and you're better in other topics. So some years ago, around 10 years ago, I specialized on Azure when no one knew what Azure was. And today I'm known for that. Everyone knows me for, yeah, it's Tiago, the Azure guy and the Azure trainer and all of that. And I only teach Azure. I only do consulting in Azure. I don't do anything else. This gives me one thing, I don't need to prep my classes like I used to anymore. I just need to read the slides a little bit. Yeah, I need to talk about this. And then I can get the time of my preparation to create new demos, to create new content, to create, new ways to interact with my students, like using Mentimeter, using and creating specialized labs for my students, create a lot of content around that so that I can be really in the best of the bests in my area of specialization. I'm saying Azure. I'm pretty biased to that, so everyone should do Azure. Okay, Azure is the best thing ever, but of course, I understand that, yeah, maybe you're more on the 360 side, the 365 side, or you want to go for the cybersecurity area, which is a really odd area, by the way, right now, or you are on the Office part. And look, don't be less. No one is less because they are teaching Office instead of other stuff, because I know very good Office trainers that, they have the capability of changing the way that the whole employees of a company work so that they can be more productive and work better. The other day, one of my customers asked me, "Oh, we need training on Teams. Do you do that?" I was like, "No way." Just and one of my friends went there to teach Teams for them, and I see that in the conference calls that I do with the customer, and we're talking about IT people, and she's not a technical person. She is a very much of on processes and business, and now they use Teams so much better. And even the other day, they taught me something to me, and I was like, "Oh, we can do this with Teams. Oh, great!" And I thought I was living on Teams and I knew everything that had to do with Teams, but specialize. That's my my best advice that I think I can give you, because when you specialize, you become really, really good in what you do, and you can go to a classroom and you have trust when you're teaching, and you're like, oh, is this correct or not? No, you don't, because you really know the topic, and so you'll be so much more comfortable. Your classes will be awesome, to be honest. So that'll be my advice.
Thanks so much, Tiago. I see that there are several people in the meeting chat who completely agree with you that specialization is the way to go. Seems like good advice. Abdullah, how about you? Are there any qualities that you think are important to be an MCT, and do you have any advice on certification paths?
Yep, I also believe same, like instructor should be specialized on the specific topic which he is going to deliver. Because if you don't have expertise on the specific topic, you cannot deliver the things in a good manner to the audience. And obviously, with your experience, with your practical work, you learn the best practices and the hacks of the specific technology. So the audience and the student will get benefit of this, rather than you can just go and just pass the slides, and they will not get the actual benefit that what they deserve at the end of the training. And it is better always go with the things that you are specialized, and never go to that area that you are not specialized. So this is my recommendation, and this is what I do. And I also not deliver the training. For example, if someone is saying go for IoT or some other courses that is not even my specialization, I never think about these courses, because I am just doing or delivering the courses that I have the expertise, and the other student and the professional get benefit for these trainings and the sessions, rather than just making the numbers and the things in your profile. So this is my side, that every trainer, we have too many guys joined in our session. Just go with your specialized things, because it will give you benefit. And you can, like Tiago, he's a champion of Azure, so you can benefit to the other guys, and you can help them to leverage their skills and practical things on what they are doing and on their daily job, rather than you are taught, you are delivering them the things that they already knew. And maybe in the cross questionings, everyone knew that the guys who are attending the courses or the trainings, especially in the industry, maybe they knew better than you. So rather than the embarrassment and these type of things, just focus and stuck with your expert area. This is my advice.
All right, another strong vote for specialization, it sounds like. Okay, so all right, well, at this point, I do want to ask anyone in the audience to add any questions they might have to the meeting chat, and we'll try to fit them in. In the meantime, I will go ahead and pass off moderation to my colleague Sana, and she'll continue asking questions of our panelists. So over to you, Sana.
Thank you so much, Judy. Okay, so I will start with asking a different question which relates to the training challenges that you might have faced during your certification career or your journey. So let's start with Gulnaz first.
As due to popularity of cloud computing, many professionals of other fields are adopting IT proficiency in the cloud computing. So due to their insufficient or sometimes no knowledge of IT, I usually spend more time on clearing the basic concepts of a desired course to such students. So at times it becomes a challenge for me to get them familiar with the prerequisites of a specific course. For example, I spend more time to clear their networking concepts, but eventually it has always been my goal to provide them better knowledge and understanding. And they always too much satisfied with my training, the way of training. So moreover, I have found that setting the cost of the training session due to the diverse ages that come in for sessions, setting a base price is a difficult job. The students wish the price to be as low as possible, and extremely low price might make the professionals feel that something in the session is not up to the mark. So these are a few experiences and challenges that I have been facing during my the journey of training.
Thank you so much, Gulnaz, for your answer. I would like to ask Usman Lodhi the same question.
Okay. Mostly I'm facing the problem about the clients. They are asking me that, can you please train us? Like if somebody wants to learn about a course like 104, and they want to get expertise in few days, and they are not following the recommendations, they are not following the proper course and content, they are using the shortcuts to become the certified only. So this is the biggest challenge to that I'm telling the clients, that follow the proper channel. And secondly, the second biggest problem for me, the competitors offering the free your course on other vendors course. So this is the second biggest challenge for me.
Okay, Usman, thank you so much. Tiago, would you like to add something and share your experience?
Yeah, sure. So I basically have a worldwide experience by teaching. I already taught I'm based in Europe, by the way, and I have been taughting in the US, Brazil, so North America, South America, Africa, Middle East, I don't know, everywhere. I never thought was in Australia and New Zealand. That's the only places that I'm missing. And it's different all the time. Different problems, different challenges everywhere. But one of the things that for me was a challenge at first was the cultural differences that we have. Certain countries, we know, students don't talk. They don't have questions, They just don't have. Do you have questions? I got it. And silence from the other side, just no one says anything. And I'm talking in person trainings, okay? Let's not even go to the virtual space where this even it's bigger. But there's like no questions, and I was like, but are they learning or are not they understanding? Aren't they enjoying the class? And it's just a cultural thing. So you have to find ways to make them participate. This is where gamification is like a great way to do it. So I use a lot like tools like Mentimeter or others that do the same thing, or just, get a PowerPoint with some questions and, well, let's answer this. And so that we involve the students. And they started to be a little bit more involved. And this is something that, at least for me, works everywhere. Okay, everyone likes to do those. Okay, and they love this interaction that we can get. So it's pretty pretty cool. Again, like Usman was saying, the different ages is something that the new generation, they want to learn. Done right now. And we have to explain, it's not like that. There's a lot of prereqs that you don't have, that first you need to gain them in order for you to fully understand this. And it's not easy sometimes. So we also need to find another ways to deliver this to this new generation, because they will get it. Okay, they want to learn, but they just are a generation that they were taught to go to a computer or to a smartphone, ask something on a browser, and they get the answer. They don't need to research on it. We just need to understand that difference here. So generally speaking, I think those are like, my biggest challenges. I just want to add one, which was when we started to do virtual stuff. It's different. And especially when you have to do hybrid classes, which is like my worst nightmare is when I have to do hybrid classes. So hybrid classes is I'm in the room, I have some students in the room, and then I have a bunch of others that they are remote. And you can never know where to focus. It's really annoying because you want to focus on both, because both deserve your focus the same way, but you have humans in front of you that they talk with you, and that they're in 3D. And your eye and your focus will just go to them, and so it's really something that I'm still working on that, and I think I still need a long way to go to really properly do that. When it's virtual, just virtual, yeah, it's easy. Okay, to be honest, I need to engage the students on the other side, or else they will fall asleep. So I will try to do a lot of breaks, small breaks, but just like 1 hour break, 1 hour break. And my biggest challenge, was to explain this to a training company and explain them, we're going to do 1 hour and then breaks. And they thought, Tiago doesn't want to work. He just wants to do a lot of breaks. No, it's not, because people will not focus. And so I told them, let's do this in one class, and you ask the feedback from the students comparing to other classes that they had where the trainers did this. And of course, everyone fortunately gave an awesome feedback about it. And then, but it's hard. Then I went to another training company, and I had to do the same thing and explain the same thing. And it's a little bit hard to explain that and make them understand that, in virtual, we can't have like 3 hours in a row without any breaks. We need to do breaks. So I think those are, my let's just say my biggest challenges lately that I had.
Thank you so much, Tiago, for such a detailed explanation about the challenges that you have faced. So I'm moving on to the other question, which is related to the MCT readiness program benefits. And I can also see in the chat that people are asking about the MCT benefits and how they can get that. So let's start with that. And we have also talked about the MCT readiness program in the very beginning and the lab prep benefits that are being offered by XtremeLabs. Can you share the benefits from being an MCT that you enjoy most? Tiago, if you would like to continue answering this question.
Yeah, sure. So for that, I really recommend. So I did. We had the MCT Connect conference, and I'm pasting here the link for the MCT Central, where I think Microsoft just they just published the videos of the conference. So if you were an MCT and we were not on the conference, I think you can download the recordings and watch the recordings. I don't know, because this was someone just told me before our call that, hey, this is published. And I didn't even watch this, okay? But I did a session together with another regional lead, which is Shintan, and that was exactly about the MCT benefits. If you want, like for example, my biggest benefit that exists in the MCT, it's not something that is provided by anyone. It's all of us, the community that we have. I think that's the best benefit that we can get as an MCTs, and I'm truly saying this. For example, I can tell I live in Lisbon, Portugal. I'm in Lithuania, and I posted on social networks, "Hey, I arrived in Lithuania, etc." I had immediately 2 MCTs from here saying, "Let's go for dinner." So today, after this, I'm going to dinner with one of them, and tomorrow I'm going to dinner with another one. So all this community that exists around the world, and it's like amazing, And when you need help, someone can also always reach out to me, and I will help them with some MCT issue. And the same with all the other MCTs that are here with me. I know that they help tons of people, and they help fellow MCTs. And I think, to be honest, that's the best benefit that we can have.
Great, Tiago. So Usman, would you like to add and tell us what's the favorite benefit about being an MCT?
Well, first of all, like Tiago said, that community. Secondly, the most benefit is Microsoft providing us a lot of benefits to being an MCT to make our classes successful. First benefit is, which is my favorite, is softwares, and second is Microsoft providing free Azure passes to make our sessions. So in others, there are a lot of benefits. So these are my favorites.
Okay, Usman. Abdullah, please tell us about the favorite MCT benefit that you enjoy.
For me, the best part is Microsoft Learning Download Center. So you will get the prepared curriculum from the best guys who prepare for you, and you just need to prepare yourself for the trainings. Oh, obviously with your experience and all the things, but it give you benefit and it saves you a lot of time.
Great. Gulnaz, would you like to share your favorite benefit?
Yeah, there are a lot of benefits. I would share the link. Basically, it comes with the MCT program, and its link is it goes to my MCT Central. Uh, so my favorite MCT's benefits are a monthly Azure subscription, which gives you $100 credit to each MCT, and metrics that matter, XtremeLabs, and Visual Studio software and tools, as they really helped me in my training career. And I feel that without these benefits and tools, it wouldn't be possible for me to arrange resources, spending because you have to spend a lot of money on them. So uh, let me talk a little more about them. If you go to the MCT Central page, let me share the link in the chat. This is for the new MCTs, especially. This is the short link to MCT Central. which I have shared in the chat. If when you open this page, you will find news as well as town hall meetings, which are very much important to participate in, and you also get the jobs regarding MCTs. Also, on the left side of the menu, if you go to the MCT Central, you will see there is a right side of the menu, that is a blue menu on the right side, and you will see there are a lot of free tools, especially as Abdullah Bhai said, MCT Readiness, and you can download course outlines, course materials, and the full-fledged course program design. So that is a very much beneficial for MCTs, because they don't have to spend a lot of time in designing the content and course and timeline, etc. So I would request all of the MCTs to get the advantage of these benefits. Especially, I would recommend the Metrics That Matter. That is an online tool which generates reports, and in coming months, the Microsoft will approve MCT Metrics That Matter reports, and because that is very much important that your reports should be verified. So the Metrics That Matter is recognized by the Microsoft, and Microsoft highly recommends that. And this tool is free of cost for the MCTs. If you buy, if you are not an MCT, if you are an ordinary trainer, so you have to spend a lot of money on having this tool. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gulnaz, for such a detailed explanation. I believe that our audience will find it helpful and they might be following you while you were talking. Since you have been using XtremeLabs for your class prep and for your trainings, would you like to share your experience using XtremeLabs?
Oh yeah, sure. So basically, using a platform like XtremeLabs, it's so much easier to prep, and this is from someone that we used to have to download virtual machines from the download center, and we had to install them. We had to have a very beefy computer to run that. So many years ago, I used to teach something called SharePoint and SharePoint server, and Bill is on the call here. Bill will not let me lie. It's heavy, and we had like tons of VMs that we had. So I had to have a elite book that was like this thick, super heavy, and for a person that travels like myself, it's just not possible. So today I just travel with a Surface Book. Okay, it's still like I like to have a beefy computer in terms of specs, but yeah, I don't need it, to be honest. I just need like a regular machine, browser, bam, and you're there. This is great because it's an equalizer. Not everyone has the budget to buy such a machine, and in some countries, training doesn't pay that much as in other countries. So this is kind of an equalizer because you don't need a very great, hardware in order to do the same thing as others do. And it's so much easier, because I want to try that course. Yeah, let me just go. Browser open, try it. That for me, it's like really, really okay. Really awesome, a really awesome feature that we have. And before, by the way, from virtual machines, we used to even had some CDs that Microsoft sent us, and we used to put this and configure physical machines. This is like, for the today's standard, is like crazy the amount of time that we took to prep classes, the training rooms, all of that. If we wanted to teach this in a on-site, on the customer site, it was a nightmare. Now it's not. You just need internet access to this site. That's it. And usually that's something even in the even in some military areas, etc., we can still get that kind of stuff. Not all of them, but some we can even get that. So it's pretty, yeah, I think that's, for me, it's my best recommendations is use something like this because it's really awesome. And for someone that's already here for some years now and see the evolution, this is even better for someone that enters today. And yeah, this is the normal. Okay.
Great, Tiago. Thank you so much for the answer. Now, I would like to ask that what are your recommendations to training organizations to support MCTs, especially? Gulnaz, would you like to answer this question first? What are your recommendations?
Okay. Being a certified trainer, that makes a big difference for a training partner or an institution or an organization. So it boosts their organization's reputation. But unfortunately, training organizations pay equally. Unfortunately, training organization doesn't pay that much to certified trainers, and they pay equally to both the certified and uncertified trainers. I think organizations should pay justifiable amount to the certified trainers and also pay rewards to them and encourage them for their contribution in the success of training organizations. So that's what I always feel. That's my feeling, you can say, and experience as well.
Thanks so much, Gulnaz. I'll go ahead and ask our very last question. We only have a few minutes left of the webinar. So this question is more future-facing. So obviously we are in changing times. The pandemic, different technology changes have all very much proven that. So my question is about what you see as future trends in the MCT community, as well as in teaching Microsoft technology, as well as just in training in general. So what are the trends that you see moving forward? And importantly for our audience, what are some ways to keep up with the trends or stay ahead of them? So does anybody want to start first?
So if I understand, the question was about trends, right?
That's right. What are some trends in the training community, and what's your advice for staying ahead of them?
Yeah, security. Okay, that's the new thing now. Okay, so and there's where we're going to have really, really, really loads of needs from customers, because if we already knew this as IT people, we live in a very unsecure IT world. But more and more we are seeing problems on that area. And this is not just for, oh, those very security hard courses to be taught and things like that. No, it's like create your own workshops about like security awareness. I have a workshop. It's like security awareness. And, I teach that. It's just like a 1 hour thing. And I charge a good amount of money. Let's be honest here. Okay. And I basically do this for companies, for their employees. It's for users, and this is something that everyone is like crying me. Hey, Tiago, can you just come here and teach? And I don't have time, to be honest, for all the requests that I have. And because there are really so much need from this. And it's just, teaching them, don't click on links that you don't know, just this is how you authenticate in here, use multi-factor authentication, explaining what it is, because they're going to enroll this in the company. So all of that, this is like something that is super, super needed nowadays.
Tiago, thanks so much. Are there any last thoughts on this? We only have about maybe 30 seconds left before we wrap up.
Okay, regarding these trends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. During pandemic, I have noticed the major shift in the training trends because world has been diverted to remote learning, and most of the trainers, they are using online platforms for delivering training. A few are adopting a hybrid training model as well, because the hybrid means the on-site and online both platforms, both mediums. Trainers have learned adopting technology to create a more flexible environment that is in the reach of everyone. So the gaps are minimizing to bring people more closer. The platforms like Microsoft Teams, Zoom, and Skype played a major role in helping the MCT community during pandemic. And moreover, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analytics are gaining popularity day by day. So that's from my side.
Thanks so much, Gulnaz. Well, fortunately, we're out of time. So it sounds like in terms of trends, I'm hearing cybersecurity and accessibility, and also some data analytics are things to watch out for in the near future. So, well, I'll just go ahead and wrap it up here. I want to give a huge thank you to all four of our panel, Abdullah, Usman, Tiago, and Gulnaz, for all of your insight today. And also, a big thank you to all of our audience members who are here joining us. Saw lots of great activity in the meeting chat. Thank you for all the extra questions that you've asked. I'm sure that they will help others who are probably wondering the same things that you are. And I also want to share just a little bit about some upcoming events that we have. So we've been doing a webinar every other month. So our next one is going to be in May. So please watch out for additional information as we publish that. And finally, I'm really excited to announce our second annual conference, EXL 2022, and our theme is Experiential Learning for All.